student in Penang, one in Kuching, and one in JB. Okay, so we do provide the support that you need. Why WOU then? As I mentioned earlier, the program is designed by experts across the world, okay, across the Commonwealth. Our course materials are state of the art in the sense that we do periodically update them. It is designed with a certain instruction design in place. That means it is designed for adult learners. It's used by adult learners because we are one of the premier institutions for ODL delivery. Okay, we are an expert in delivering courses and programs to working adults. Okay, now there's one other advantage of this program that I think, or maybe WOU, that I think doesn't really exist in most other institutions, is the fact that a lot of those who are teaching you, the tutors that you will most probably meet, are industrial practitioners, especially for MBA. Rather than inviting somebody from USM, for example, to teach an MBA course, I rather invite somebody from Intel to teach the same course, because a person from Intel will infuse practical experience into the teaching, something that many true academics cannot do. It's not very difficult reading from a textbook and churning that out for students, but sharing what actually happens in the industrial world, there's a different ball game altogether. The other good advantage of this particular program is you can complete the entire program online. All the courses that we offer, okay, is placed online. You don't have to come for classes. We use platforms such as this. The classes are conducted sometimes during weekday evenings and sometimes during weekends. But sometimes it could even be at night, 10 o'clock at night, where your kids have gone to bed. That's the only time that you have of your free time, and that's where you have your classes. So we also do it that way. So you can do this program fully online, except of course for the exam. Malaysia is still a very traditional country, and because it's a very traditional country, it's a Malaysian government requirement that exam by right should not be online. So exam is one thing that you have no choice but to come for a physical exam. Okay, so that is the major advantage of selecting WOU to do your tertiary education. And that's all from me. Okay, I'm not sure whether I exceeded the time. I suppose I have exceeded the time, but hey, as I said, give me a mic, I'll talk forever. Okay, thank you. I shall pass the mic over to Miss Rina.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Can you see me?
Hi, Dr. Ng. Yes, can.
All right. Okay, good. Okay. First of all, I'm going to actually talk about the title name. The name of the title is Continuing Education Investment During Crisis. So some of you might have, think that, why such a serious title? Why such a serious topic? Actually, it's not. All right. So what I'm trying to actually bring after a very detailed, comprehensive discussion by Mr. Prakash, as we all know about the program structure, so on and so forth, is to actually provide some ideas to some of the students, all right, who have yet to actually make a firm decision. So from my topic, continuing education investment during crisis, there are actually few things or few important keywords that I would actually like to highlight. The first one will be investment in education. When we talk about investment or investment in education, right? So for those who are already married with children, right, we always talk about investment in education for our kids. For those who have yet to marry, okay, you don't have kids, of course, when we talk about investment in education, then, more like likely that we are going to think about ourselves. Okay, investment in ourselves. So, alright, I hope that among the prospects who are attending today, some of you who are already married, some of you who have not, right, I would like you to actually think about investments in yourself. That means that, if you have actually wanted to actually get more ideas, right, as of to make a decisions to come in, right, that is, some of the things that I can share with you. I would like to actually share with you regarding two examples that I can think of. Right, one example is actually an example of my friend talking about investment in education. As we all know, right, in the market out there, okay, it's such a gloomy mood, so to speak. People are thinking about COVID and the impact it has, and also all the negative implications, so on and so forth. Okay, but somehow rather, when it comes to educations, right, a friend of mine, when we have a chat last few days back, right, then he's still insisting on the investments that he's going to put for the two kids that is currently studying in university. So that gives me a lot of motivation, inspiration, so to speak, right? As a parents, when we talk about investment in educations, right, we never back off. Irrespective of how difficult that we are facing, the situation that we are facing. This friend of mine is actually running a business, and the business is badly affected. So he is actually willing, right, to actually go to the extent that he's going to sell his property, he's going to downsize, he's going to do all sort of strategy, right, as to cut costs. But when it comes to the investment in education for his kids, right, it is something that he's going to continue. Oh. Hello. I saw something on the screen. Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, betul.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me continue with my example here. So in this case, for my friend, investment, right, in education continue irrespective of what is going to happen. Then, right, there is a what we call question that is always asked, that is it worthwhile, or is it, right, what we call that we are able to actually take such a high risk to actually invest ourselves during this crisis period? The answer is, right, why not? Okay. So another example that I would like to quote would be a real life example, one of the JB student who is currently working in Singapore. Okay, and that is, his example give me a lot of inspirations about investment in education as well. My students who is currently working in Singapore, he is currently taking DBA with us in JB. Prior to that, in fact, he actually completed his first degree with us in WOU, and then move on, right, to do his MBA with us, CE MBA, and then now he's currently doing DBA with us. So what I'm going to tell you here is that, look, right, when this student, when he first started, did his degree with us, he was having the kind of dilemma or difficulties as of, right, to actually find a better paid job. In fact, without a first degree, it is also very difficult for him to actually apply for work permit in Singapore. Therefore, right, back in when we first started, I think he's one of the very first student, during the earlier batch back in 2007, 2008, then he registered, did his first degree. Then from there, right, the moment that he completed his first degree, right, then he actually shared with us that he is able to use his first degree not only to find a better job, but at the same time to actually apply for a work permit. So that means that, right, he's able to actually move up, his career ladder, so to speak, to a higher level by obtaining his first degree. So that investment actually worked for him. After that, right, because of his good investment that he did in his first degree, then he decided to actually continue with the masters, the CE MBA with us. So again, right, he has a very clear mindset about investment in himself, right, investing in this CE MBA program, and then he finished. So when he finished his MBA, right, another new horizon opened up for him. Then he's able to actually find even a better pay job in Singapore. So the other day when I got a chance to actually talk to him, I asked him, hey, in terms of salary increment, right, how does it work? If you don't mind, can you give me an estimation, right? Right, how a degree or a master help you in terms of salary, your pay? Then he shared with me that before I got my first degree, right, in Singapore, I cannot get anything, right, more than 2,000 Sing dollar without a first degree. And also I'm having difficulty to actually apply for work permit. Then after I got my first degree, right, I can, get job, right, easily from the range of 2.5 to 3.5. Okay, and then he can see the value in terms of investing, right, in a new degree and then subsequent masters. So the moment that he finished his MBA, then he could actually look at something, right, in terms of pay range, right, something more than 3.5 to 4.5. So he's currently commanding such a good pay job in Singapore, and that is the motivation for him to again come back to us again to now currently pursuing his DBA. So what I would like to share with all the prospects out there, whether you are in Penang, whether in KL, Ipoh, right, Kuching, or even in JB, right, investments in education is something that, right, you should do now. Then only that you can, right, think about the gain that you are going to anticipate in the future. So I might not be able to tell you and say that, look, right, if you come in and do our MBA now, right, in 2 years, 3 years down the road, right, that is going to actually give you this amount of gain in terms of the salary or that, opening, what we call job opening for you. But through our experience for so many years, right, that I can see, okay, just the example that I just quoted, okay, my student who are working in Singapore, and I can see the benefit, or I can see the help that this, investment in education, right? In other words, I will really ask you, to think about, right, to making a firm decision, okay? So the investment in education is definitely worthwhile, or it will pay off, right, if you have a future mindset, in the sense that that, right, a lot of our students before they come in, right, they have a common characteristic, so to speak. Some of them are actually experiencing what we call the career advancement bottleneck. They are stuck somewhere. Just like the example that I give it to you, my student while working in Singapore, he is stuck, right? He feel that there is a strong sense of injustice. I've been working in this company for so many years with working experience, with performance, but because I lack the paper qualifications, therefore I've been deprived of the opportunity to move up. So we have seen cases, right, now and then, right, and then there are people who are actually from the factories, who are working in the private sectors, who are actually working in a company for many years, and, right, they have a sense of injustice in the sense that they have been deprived of the opportunity of moving up. And that is why, right, we always urge the students that, right, why wait? Why procrastinate? Make the decisions, come in now, right? And then you can only judge whether it is a good decision, it is a worthwhile investment 2 years, 3 years down the road. So that is something that I would like to share with you with regards to the first point, talking about the investment in education. Because, right, time and again, throughout my experience, every time when I talk to a prospect, especially a SENBA prospect, that means there are people who have been working, in the industry for a few years, right? People who are in a crossroad because, they want to actually decide to actually move to a new job, right? It's people who think that they are stuck, they have this career advancement bottleneck because they're not able to move. move to the next level, right, because of paper qualifications, so on and so forth. So I always encourage people who have this intention to come in to make this firm decision. So that is the first point that I would like to share with regards to investment in education, right? The next point that I would like to touch on, right, as per what my topic says, continuing education investment during crisis, will be this word crisis. Uh, I actually share with a lot of people regarding crisis, or sometimes also I try to revisit this word crisis. Okay, what do I mean by that, right? Crisis in Chinese mean two words. Okay, so crisis in Chinese means 危机. These two words. One is called danger, and the other one is called opportunity, right? And every time when crisis happen, just right now, COVID-19, right? When you actually talk to your friends, nothing good seems to come out. Everything seems to be negative. Everything seems to be, down and gloomy, and so on and so forth. But is it true that everything during crisis is actually full of danger, full of negativity, right? It is not necessarily the case. Why? Because just to give you an example, I have friends who are working in, running this pharmacy business. Their business are so good because of this crisis, right? So they are talking about selling masks and sanitizers and hand glove and all those medical supplies, so on and so forth, right? Their business are so good. So there is no danger, right? There is full of opportunity, during this crisis period. On the other hand, right, another of my friends who are running a grocery shop, right, that grocery shop before the crisis is actually, having a very bad business, right? But because of crisis, suddenly everybody, queuing up to go to grocery shop to actually buy the daily necessity. So again, right, during the crisis, the Chinese words remind us that there are two things or two components here. One is danger and the other one is opportunity. And I would like you, the prospect, to think about the opportunity that you are able to grab. So when we talk about coming in to WOU to sign up for this seminar, right, is that opportunity, right? Or can you see this as an opportunity? Right? I suppose that the answer is yes. Why not? Right? So it is an opportunity for you to actually, number one, upgrade your academic profile. Second, right, is an opportunity for you to actually enhance your skill sets, enhance your knowledge. Right? Third, it's also an opportunity for you to enhance your networking. Right? That means that you got the opportunity to actually meet up with people who are from different industry, who are from, with different experience and skill set, and then you are able to meet up with them, and that is going to actually enlarge your social cycle as well. So there are opportunity there for sure, right? If you actually come in, right, to do our MBA program now. So I would like to urge the prospect, okay? I mean, if I put yourself in the shoe of a prospect, I always trying to actually think, what are the so-called worry, what are the so-called, what we call, feeling that you have, how would you feel, okay? Then I always say that, I will be able to give you a better advice in the sense that, right, think about the opportunity that you are going to get, all right? So, right, then, I touch on the crisis, then I touch on the opportunity, right? The next one, or the last point that I have, is talking about the opportunity. Throughout my experience, right, just to share with some of the prospects, because you guys have yet to come in, right? Just now from Mr. Prakash, we know that we have been running this program since 2007 until today. And we have, basically a few thousands alumni or, students who are still doing this. And there is no exceptions for JB student as well. I see that there is a lot of opportunities appear, right, for students who are coming in to do this program. Okay, and there are reasons behind it. Okay, when I try to analyze it, number one, because the profile that is coming in to do this program are the profile who are actually coming in with working experience, or even some with very good management skill, or some with very good business skill or business acumen because they are running their own business. All right, so there is a lot of opportunity for you to not only gain the book knowledge, so to speak, but from the networking sides, all right, that is an opportunity for you to get to know a lot of people. That bring me to actually share with you one of the example that I have in JB. I got a friend, right, as I said, right, this friend is actually running a pharmacy chain in JB, right? So these pharmacy chains, right, in JB is quite aggressive. They have about, come close to 20 pharmacy chain in JB. So I actually know this person for quite some times. Every time, right, and then he knows I'm coming from WU. Every time when we meet, then he always asking me, right, I'm always thinking of doing an MBA, right? But I'm not sure. I'm scared. So always he say that I scared that I got no time because I got so many things to take care, right? So many things to juggle. Number one, I worry that I have no time. Okay, that is the first worry. And then this guy will always say that I'm worried that I'm not able to do well in this MBA program because I actually left school for more than 10 years already. Okay, so for me to actually come back to study, right, the fear of studying, right, it's bigger than fear. So there is always this clashing feeling inside himself. On one hand, he's got the intention that always wanted to come back to do his MBA. On the other hand, he's worried about the time factor as well as whether he has the ability to cope with the study or not. Then after long discussion and long consideration, ding dong, all right, I think 2 years back he made a decision, and he made a very good decisions by actually bringing his wife to actually studying together with him. That was also one of the suggestions. So I would also like to share this with all the prospect out there. Right, it would be good for you to invite your friends, your family members, your husband and wife, right, to actually studying together, right, because peer pressure helps. Okay, peer pressure helps. So, right, these 2 years back, my friend together with his wife, both of them come in. So as usual, in the first semester, both of them keep on giving me all those negative remarks. We are busy, we got so many things to take care, we got family members, kids, right, kids' educations, our business, so on and so forth. Then I say that, look, all right, let's not speculate what is going to happen. Let's do it first. All right, let's do it first and see how it works. Then they gone through the first semesters. After that, right, when the result released, okay, then he couldn't believe it. All right, so he immediately called me once he got the result. Right, he got all A's in all the 3 subjects that he registered. So what I'm going to share with you here is that, look, right, we always think about the bad things that is going to happen, and we always anticipate, right, bad things, bad fortune, bad luck is going to happen to us. And that kind of mindset some to actually, right, delay you or actually deprive you of the opportunity that is going to appear. So what I'm going to tell you here is that, right, the opportunity is definitely out there. It's for everyone to grab. Okay, and the problem is that during this crisis period, right, during this COVID-19 crisis, the sentiment is so negative, right? There is a tendency for people to always think negative. So, right, I would like to actually use all these examples to share with you, right? For sure, right, if you actually come in because nobody knows what is going to happen. Okay, what I'm going to tell you here is that it's also one of the good advice that my friends told me the other day. He said that, look, right, during this COVID-19 crisis, right, and nobody knows that when it's going to end. Okay, and everybody can be pretty sure the crisis is going to end when the vaccines become available. All right, so that means that if it is not going to be end of this year, probably it's going to be second half, first half, second half, or even third half of like 2021. So for sure that the vaccine is going to make available, and then this virus will then be addressed properly. But the point is that if you are going to wait, all right, until things are going to become much better, you might have lost some of the opportunity that you are able to actually enjoy next year or actually years to come. Just like I quoted the example of my student who are working in Singapore. He has been a WO student for the past, right? It is my always a good example that I would like to share with all the other students out there. Okay, it is not something because he likes to study, because he see the value of it, he see the what we call investment in it, that he's always able to actually gain after investing it now. So what I can tell you here, what I can give you here is the same message, right? So only when you decided to invest now, then only you are able to reap the fruit of success, probably 2 years or even 3 years down the road. By then, you'll be more ready. Think about it, all right? 2 or 3 years down the road, right? You're already a master's holder. Doesn't it open up more opportunity for you? Doesn't it, make your options for career advancements, right, even greater? I'm sure that the answer is yes. So with that, right, coming back to the topic, let me do a little summary before I end. I basically touch on three things: investment in education, right? For me, investments in educations for our own self, the value of it is definitely much more. Right? Sometimes, some of the parents will think that I already owe, okay, I better actually, spend my money for my kids. Right? So if you think that way, yes, there's nothing wrong with that. But I would like to counter propose and say that if you invest in yourself, right, and you make yourself more valuable, and because you invest in yourself, you make yourself more valuable, you are able to get a better pay job, isn't it your whole family is going to benefit? So that is the first point: investment in education. Second, right, I talk about the crisis. I'm using the words crisis in Mandarin, okay? 危机, danger and opportunity. So I would like to actually urge the prospect out there, right, not always think about danger. Okay, what I can see here is that despite the dangerous situations out there, right, there's people who are actually benefiting from this crisis because their business are now getting better because of this crisis. So yes, right, to a lot of people, right, or in fact to most of the people's right life are being affected, but it doesn't mean that we cannot see the opportunity that is being posed by this crisis. And the last point that I mentioned was the opportunity for you to actually make the decisions to come in now. Think about, right, 2 years, 3 years down the road, upon completions of your SEMBA, isn't it that is going to make a big difference, right? If you don't take the opportunity to come in now, right, you are only a degree holder, or probably you're only with, you're only an employee with years of experience. And because now we also have this open entry via Appel, right? We have seen, people are benefiting, right, from coming in via the open entry, the Appel system, to actually come in to do the SEMBA program. And upon completion of their SEMBA, right, they are being actually opened up with lots of opportunity in the market. Okay, so that is basically, what I'm going to say about the topic. All right, I hope that it is not something too serious. Actually, I have no intention to make it so serious, even though the topic suggests that it's a very serious topic, but it's more like ideas, some of the experiences that I've encountered, right? And I hope to share with all the prospect. Hopefully that, you guys take the, what we call, understand the value behind it, all right, and take the actions, all right, and then come in now. All right, with that, I end my sharing. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ng. Okay, so now I would like to invite one of our existing students who have joined us maybe since 2017 to share about studying in WOU. And so can I have first one, Mr. Gobi?
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Gobi.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you very much. Can I start? Hello, hi, good afternoon to Mr. Prakash, Dr. Ng, and fellow WO mates, and also our teammates. First of all, introduce myself. My name is Govinath, and currently I'm attached to one of the GLC company in Penang. Okay, currently I'm in just finished semester 3 and about to start my semester 4 for the SEMBA program. Just share with you guys. Okay, actually WOU is a nice place to study, where about all the facilities are quite good over here. As the part-time student over here, and because of most of the materials and what the facilities are all provided, such as what you call it, the libraries, the e-libraries, where that I can what you call it, use the e-library as a reference, okay, 24/7, even 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Also, I can access the library and to get all the materials for the assignments, and also what you call it, get all the past year papers, as what Mr. Prakash told just now, for you to get ready before the examination. And then the one thing that I like over here is the online learning, where there's a face-to-face online learning, especially during this MCO period, right? So all the class have been recorded. So during the online learning over here, where about what you call it, you can play back the class anytime you want, anywhere with your mobile or with your tab, with your laptop, even though you're in the office, you can play back the class, with the class with the assistants, because while during the class there's an assistant from the tutors, where about for the assignments and everything, so that will really, like, you can just play back, you can pause, then you can rewind, and then this